to the Valley Urban Farm. As you join us in this episode, we are making our first deliveries of corn to the fish tanks. This is from the big greenhouses that we established in the last episode as part of the Aquaponics scheme. Overnight they produced a 1,000-litre pallet of corn from each greenhouse. Let's get those in there, and we still need soya beans, I think. Hopefully that'll be ready by the beginning of the next episode, or day 2. Right, as mentioned in the intro, we are going to be trading in a vehicle, and even though I've loved using this telehandler, I've decided to trade it in, and in a minute or so you'll see what we bought. Right, so let's just get that repaired. I think we'll paint it as well. Try and get as much money as we can out of the repaint the vehicle, yeah. And just under 87,000 we'll get for it. Right, and we're left with the pallet fork, which we don't need, so we'll sell that as well. We'll repair and paint that before we get it going. Get it going, get it gone. Right, that's all done, and this is what we're going to replace it with. The Young Heinrich EFG electric forklift, and we're going to get 2 of them. So we're going to get one for the top farm area and one for the bottom area, so that we don't have to be traipsing between the two with the forklift. And these little things are pretty speedy compared to, I think the forklift was 15 miles an hour. These are 17 miles an hour. But we don't really need to transfer between them. Right, we'll get this first one delivered to our top farm. And one of the main reasons why I decided to change as well is just for the maneuverability in the confined spaces. And as we do more and more stuff, even in the bottom area, I think we'll start becoming more and more congested. And we need machines that are a little bit nippier in terms of turning circle, etc. Right, so let's just load up product from the open gardens, and we'll get those into the farm shop. Yeah, so it works pretty niftily. There is an option to have extended forklift prongs, if you want to call it that, but I didn't choose to do that, and I can still pick up 2 pallets at a time, which is kind of the maximum you really want to do. So it turns out that that was quite a good decision, even though I didn't know for sure when I made it, that it would definitely be able to pick up 2 pallets, but it does without a problem, so it just makes it a little bit easier, a little bit quicker to load. I mean, sometimes there's just 1 pallet, so there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, and this is the first product from the small open farm, open garden, should I say. So everything besides the fish are producing at the moment. So the fish should be producing by next month. We're in January now. So January 1, I think we'll be able to get it activated in day 2 of January, we're just waiting for the soybeans now to be produced in the big barns, in the big greenhouses. There we go. That's that pretty much done. And then we'll get that up to the shop, and then we'll pop back down and get the strawberries, etc. Oh, still one more. And we'll get the strawberries. I think there's 3 or 4 pallets of strawberries and some tomatoes from the greenhouse that are ready to go into the farmer's market. Farm shop, should I say. The farmer's market is our little market behind the houses now. Hopefully we'll be able to get some, in fact we will, we'll be able to get deliveries into the farm stalls on the farm, in the farmer's market today as well. Pretty much as soon as we finished here, I think. Let's get that strapped up and get it on. Could have just put them on top, but decided not to do that. Right, should make a little bit of money out of this. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not too bad. And this is just the strawberries. And I've parked the forklift inside the greenhouse, so it's really readily available. Oh, bit of a accident, and not of my making. Oh, that doesn't look too good, does it? Wow, wonder if anybody survived that lot. Wow. Well, we'll leave the authorities to deal with that. We'll go pick up the other young Heinrich, or young Heinrich. I suppose if you'd like to translate it, it's young Henry, I suppose. Any Heinrichs out there will be cursing me for trying to anglicize that name. I presume there's a bigger forklift just called Heinrich. If I'm not mistaken, young is young, so this is young Heinrich. Right, so this is to go into the first market stall. So as we come up the one-way system, the first market stall takes the strawberries and lettuce that we produce in the hydroponics greenhouses. And so there's a bit of a one-way system going through here. So this is one way in, and then we've got a couple of ways out. That road, and the top road. So it's one way in and 3 ways out. I suppose that's really what you want. You want to get the people out of your one-way system as quickly as possible, and you want to get them in as orderly as possible. So I suppose that kind of makes sense in terms of the town planning. Right, so that's not too bad. Reasonable income, it's about 1,600 odd. Yeah. Right, and this is just the product from the second hydroponic greenhouse, doing tomatoes and lettuce. Obviously slightly slower production than the strawberries, so only 3 pallets instead of 6 pallets, but brings in roughly the same amount of money. Right, so those are first 2 deliveries to our farmers market, and that's up and running. Fish soon, I suppose. Right, let's collect our first lot of sunflower seeds. We've got lots of them, and we'll just load directly into the trailer, and then we'll get this down to the oil mill so we can get some product into there. So the oil mill is also on the shopping list so that we can produce oil which we can deliver to the crisp or potato or chips factory, which is also on our shopping list. And then we can own pretty much the whole cycle of, well, certainly a lot of the cycle of producing French fries. We'll be supplying the potatoes, we'll be supplying the oil, and we'll also be starting, if not in this episode, in the next episode we'll be starting to produce olives in the greenhouse alongside the grapes, because we've pretty much filled up the grape producing plant, so we can start diversifying a little bit in the production in that big greenhouse. Let's just weigh ourselves in, drop off the sunflower seeds, should bring us a reasonable amount of money at the moment. Of course, we also, once we buy these, just over 20 grand, live with that. We also need to, of course, when we buy these production units, we need to make sure that we have a reasonable cash flow, or at least a steady cash flow coming in, to bridge the gap between the delivery of our product, which would normally have got paid for straight away, and a delivery of product to our own factory, which we won't get paid for straight away, and realizing the funds from the sale of the produced product. If you understand what I mean, there's a bit of a cash flow management. There's a bit of cash flow management that needs to take place at that stage, so we just need to bear that in mind before we blindly go and buy the production units. Right, so we've seen a lot of grape deliveries, so we'll just run through the deliveries. So we didn't deliver to the grape juice producing factory, we delivered a load to the farm shop, and we delivered a load to the pizzeria. Not sure why the pizzeria needs grapes, but I guess they're making their own vino. Pizzeria vino. Makes sense, I suppose. They have a little bit of a winery going attached to the pizzeria, and you can sell your own wine while you're selling pizzas. And as usual, brings in good income. Right, and that's pretty much where we're going to end off this episode. We spent the evening replenishing all the inputs into our various greenhouses and gardens. We've got that pretty much up to date. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and cheerio.